if you haven't noticed already, Ray is back from his 1 episode absence.
And if you listened to this before last week's, spoiler alert, Ray's not here last week.
Yeah. Sorry you had to find out this way.
Yeah. Yeah, Ray, where you been?
I was in California for an entire week. That felt
It's a long time to be somewhere. That's a long time to not sleep in your bed.
That is very true.
I'm a huge fan of sleeping in my bed at home where everything's the way it needs to be. So I think a week, that's a long time.
Yeah, but if it's offset with activities you don't usually do, and it's a vacation, it's a trip, I could take that as a downside to the upsides. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, there's also a 6 a.m. flight out there thrown in there too.
Oof.
Just because we wanted to get there and have a whole day to take our time to go up the coast. You don't have to rush anything. So, we flew out there at 6 a.m. on Tuesday the 30th.
Did you get there at 6 a.m.?
Got there at like 8:30 LA time. It's like a 3-hour flight from Houston to LA. It's not too bad. I think it boarded at 6:30 and then left like 7:50.
Oh, okay.
Like that. Yeah.
Oh, so you're lying. Okay, got it.
Yeah, lying already. Spent a week in California. All I can do is lie.
Typical.
But was it a week Houston time or a week California time?
I think it was like 2 weeks California time, 1 week Houston time.
Oh, okay. All right. Somehow that checks out. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, we landed at LAX like 8:30 in the morning. I remember that we had used Turo when I came up there last. And so I used that for this trip. It's actually super easy at LAX because you just land. There's a budget parking. All the cars are there. You just take the pictures, get in it, drive off.
Oh,
that was great. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And they don't require all the same deposits and all the other bullshit that rental car companies do. Like, it's just like you pay the amount and that's what you pay.
Yeah, this is you're taking someone's personal vehicle, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
this people, I would imagine out there, people buy fleets and just do it themselves, right?
Yeah, this guy owned like a car wash and a bunch of cars he rented on there, so it was like his business on Turo. But I mean, it was a Subaru Crosstrek Sport, which was perfect for what we were doing.
Okay,
love soups.
Yeah, but yeah, let's see here. Let me see if this will not freak out on me this time. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're kind of working here. But yeah, landed in LAX, and then
did you see any famous people? I've never been to LAX. I feel like that's just famous people or paparazzi.
We didn't see anybody, but we were also there super early, and we were going to the budget parking. They were probably going somewhere else in the airport.
Never know. Some cheap ass celebrities out there.
There was one guy that hopped on the bus right as it was leaving to go to the budget parking, and he was like, I don't give a fuck where this bus is going, just get me the hell out of this airport right now.
Oh wow.
And he just got on the bus and figured it out once he got there.
But then he fell asleep, and when he woke back up, he was back at the terminal. No.
Oh.
But yeah, anyway, so we landed, got in our rental car, drove up through LA. We drove over to Ventura.
Wait, how long did that take? Was that like, do you hear all the 405 and all that? Like,
I mean,
is it worse than Texas? Like,
no, not at all. It doesn't even compare. It's so easy. It's so easy to drive there. The traffic's not bad at all. It moves quickly. People know what they're doing. They use turn signals. They're considerate. People aren't going 90 miles an hour.
Huh.
It's so easy to drive in LA, especially when you've spent all of your time driving in Houston. It's like nothing.
Noted.
I'm sure that if somebody was coming from like, middle of nowhere, Kansas or something, and then you go out to LA and there are all these hills and everything, like at one point it's like a 9% decline going downhill on one of the highways going 65. Like, I'm sure that would probably freak him out, but from Houston, it's, you've driven in Houston.
It's par for the course, Houston.
Yeah. But yeah, it only took about an hour or so, and we got up here, and there was this went for lunch at somewhere over here, this Urbane Cafe or whatever, had a little tofu sandwich. But there's a pier right across the street from it that had a brewery on it. So we got the first West Coast IPA that I could get at, I think it's like Yeah, it was noon California time at that point. So I got a West Coast IPA on the West Coast, and we just kind of got on the pier for a little bit. Saw this. They have these ground squirrels that make this really, really loud, obnoxious, screeching noise, and they just sit there and look at you while they do it.
It's like some of the squirrels here we have. They'll bark at you. It's literally like they're barking. But yeah, it's unnerving.
Yeah, that was all the way up there. But yeah, we were hanging on the pier for a little bit. There were birds hanging there, had their beers. This guy showed up and he had a multitude of woodwinds that he was warming up with, not the longer flute that like actually has like a not flute, like straight clarinet that has the woodwind piece on it.
Okay.
I can't ever remember what it's called.
Is he just like a busker? Like he's just out?
He was just out there on the pier playing his instruments. Yeah, yeah. He was just warming up with the assortment of woodwinds on the pier for some reason.
Sounds weird, but also cool.
Yeah. But yeah, the weather was perfect. It was like 75 degrees and sunny. But yeah, we hung out there for a little bit. And then we drove up to go up that one. Let's see here. Went up to Santa Barbara. And over here in Santa Barbara, there was.
Did you go to the psych offices?
Damn it, you beat me to it.
The what? The psych offices.
Yeah.
Oh man, you gotta watch
right.
psych.
It's right there. Big. It says psych on the window.
I forgot about that. No. Miramar Beach, I think, is what we went to. Yeah. One of those. Not Miramar. Something over here. I don't remember what the exact beach name was, but either way, it was this view.
I think that's what Top Gun is, right?
Ocean. I think so. It was one of those. One of those, the stereotypical California beaches with the cliffs and the water, and nobody else is on it. And we just let the dog run around for a little bit, stretch her legs after the long flight and everything. So she had a great time.
It's like, where am I?
Exactly. We're somewhere random.
Now, did the dog freak out with new scents and everything else, or like was she kind of just took it in stride?
She just took it in stride.
Now.
She's trained well enough that she just deals with all of it. She knows what she's doing. Yeah. She had a great time. Yeah. And then we hung out there for a little bit, let dog run around. But where we were going was we also want to go check out Pismo Beach. This is where the drive got a little hairy because I forget that there are actual mountains in California. So when you're going through like this part of the whatever national park this is there, it's like actually like reminds me of like driving Arkansas mountains, like sharp roads, sharp turns, cliffs on one side, sharp drop offs, all that stuff. But yeah, we drove the like 2 hours up to Pismo Beach so we go see those cliffs. Extremely wealthy part of California, ridiculously wealthy. But this is where you'd probably see like the cliffs with all the surfers on them and all that kind of stuff. Like that's what Pismo Beach is known for. They have like the tide pools and the big waves and
I've never heard of Pismo Beach until today.
Oh.
I think that's where they shot fucking Point Break, if I'm not mistaken. So that would like make sense.
Actually. I think so, actually, because it's just like a small town, and like we stopped off at a brewery there where they had more West Coast IPAs, like Russian River beers and stuff like that I cannot get anywhere. So we had a couple of those hanging out at the brewery, and then went and checked out the beach. And then from there, drove up Paso Robles. That was all in one day, was stopping at those beaches. And then, driving up to Paso Robles, which was another couple hours to get to our Airbnb there.
Damn. So how much driving on day one would you say you did?
It took us probably, I think we looked at it, I think it took between 8 and 10 hours to actually get from LAX to Paso Robles, which is normally like a 2.5, 3 hour drive. But just because we stopped so much, it took so much time, it took like all day.
And you got up at what time in Houston?
4:30.
It's a full day. That's not terrible though.
Yeah.
Now, especially when you're out doing stuff and enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And we got there in Paso Robles that first night, and we did not stick to a diet at all this entire time. We ate whatever we wanted to do. Yeah, exactly. So we went to this taco shop the first night we were there. Fantastic tacos. It's just like a little family that owns it. They just make
nice.
That's like good. Homemade California tacos. I ordered like 8 tacos and a side of rice and beans, and I could not remember what I ordered. we got back to the Airbnb, sat down to try to eat it. Laura goes, "Which ones did you order?" And I'm like, "Tacos." She's like, "But what tacos?" I'm like, "Some of these, I don't know."
Did
Whatever.
you snap back to other memory? Maybe you had my memories. You're like, I don't know, but Rob's got coffee for Chris. I don't know. It's
It was something like that. It was one of those moments where the brain just totally shuts down and there was no saying it. Yep. So that's how it was at the end of that day.
Question: how many times did you open Pokemon Go on this trip?
A lot.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah. I thought about it. I didn't think about it at the beaches earlier in the day, but as soon as we got to Paso Robles, I was like, "Oh, I need to open up Pokemon Go here." So I do have some things that I need to send over.
Oh, nice.
I'll have to make room in my bag.
It was cool. It was plentiful.
Yep.
Nice. That's cool. I open it up when I go to new places to like see what's around.
Yeah. And because like kind of deserty, so it was like all different kind of stuff too. Plus it.
Oh, nice.
West Coast, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, continue.
So that's day one.
That's day one. Day two, we had to check in for the dog show. But before we did that, they allow you to make appointments at vineyards at 10:30 in the morning for wine tastings.
Okay.
But this was only like 10 minutes out of Paso Robles. I know it looks really far, but it really takes no time at all.
Just zoom way out. It'll look really close.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, coming from Houston, where people are like, it takes 20 minutes for us to get to the grocery store.
Oh yeah.
People there are like, yeah, it's 15 minutes down the road. I'm like, that's we do that every day.
It's 20 miles.
Yeah, but we first before we went there, we went to a coffee shop. We went to a different coffee shop every morning because they are loaded with them there. So I think the first morning we went to this really fancy one that was at this hotel, and it was actually really fantastic coffee. This H. Cheval coffee, and it looks just like that.
Oh, cool.
Outside,
in a hotel.
Yeah, it's like in a hotel. The coffee's fantastic. It's
For the audio listeners, you'll Google it yourself. You can find these pictures, but
yeah. If you look at Paso Robles, it'll pop up. But then we showed up to Dinner Vineyards for a 10:30 a.m. tasting. They were wrapping up their morning
breakfast vineyards. Am I right?
Exactly. They were wrapping up their morning meeting when we got there. So we walked in because we got there a little early because we didn't know how long it was actually going to take to get there. Mm-hmm. And so we walked in 10:20. And they're still in their morning meeting. And they're scrambling to wrap it up so they can be ready for us. We're like, no, the anxiety of showing up too early to a place when you have an appointment.
Just tell them, be like, finish your meeting, just throw us a bottle and we'll wait.
Exactly. No, but it was great. The wines are fantastic. The main reason we chose some of those is because a lot of the winery tastings are like $100 a person. These were $40. So it was much more reasonable.
Wouldn't you think that the wine is worse then? Or is that not how wine works?
I mean, I drink 5.
Or you don't really care.
Wines. I don't really care. Okay. Whatever you give me is going to be better than I normally drink. So
I've found that too with myself is like cheap wine. You're like, ooh, but then you hit that middle. Like if I had a $30 bottle versus $100 bottle, the difference would be minuscule to my palate. You know what I mean? But then below that is like that's when the taste per dollar gets bigger and bigger and bigger. I drink a $5 bottle of Yellowtail usually. That's usually what I buy. And that's not bad though. Yellowtail's not bad.
Yeah.
Actually trained to be a sommelier.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Oh, is that a true story? Oh, I was going to wait for the punchline.
I was waiting for it too. All right. Anyway.
All right.
That's it.
All right. That's it. We'll learn something new here. But yeah, anyway, so on the way back into town, because that finished at about noon and check-in wasn't until 2, we stopped at the Selene Kaulodo winery as well, which is also really good. It was even cheaper for their tasting. It was like $30 or something. But they do have some farm dogs and stuff that run around. And we had our little puppy with the still, and the dogs were great and having a good time playing with each other. Wines were good. It was a good spot to stop too. I don't know how much I really can say about wineries in general. I'm not an expert.
You didn't train to be a sommelier or anything.
No, I didn't exactly. I'm in the the air here.
I mean, I'd comment, but I'm contractually bound not to. It's fine.
But yeah, anyway, so we spent basically the entire week at the Paso Robles Horse Park, which is somewhere over here near the airport, which is where the dog show took place. And this is basically just...
That's a huge fucking dog.
That's a little more accurate.
Oh.
I guess I do have pictures of that, so I can just show those. It'll probably be easier. Some pictures walking around Paso Robles from the wineries. I guess I could have shown those a minute ago. But yeah, this is the horse park here. You got the mountains off in the background, just out in the middle of the hills of California. Beautiful sunsets, beautiful sunrises. You got the chemtrails going above head because California, they allowed that. So, it was great.
That is pretty cool. I wouldn't have thought to. I mean, it's a perfect venue for like a dog show. It's a horse. Who cares? It's a big open fucking obstacle course. Who cares what the animal is? I never would have thought to put that there. That's neat.
The wind was crazy enough one day that these tents were flying. Like at one point, some lady was like trying to start a run, and all of a sudden you just see this tent fly over this fence and right into that agility arena.
Oof.
Stake down your easy ups, kids.
Exactly. But that was pretty much just the next 3 days was basically hanging out there. Like I drove around, I took some pictures of some of the wineries and stuff out in the fields around it, and we just kind of hung out at the arena. They do the thing on the one night where it's like a big show for the final where they bring the lights out and everybody's sitting around watching everybody run, and it's the rotating podiums. Like as you finish wherever you are, you would stay up there, and then if somebody replaces you, you have to move from first to second to gradually move down. But everybody's hanging out, having beers, watching everybody compete. That was a good time. That was interesting. I'd never seen that before.
I just want to point out that this series of pictures that you're kind of showing right now, for some reason, I believe this is the exact color palette of the euthanasia cover. Is it not? Like that's like instantly like you're scrolling through. I was like, why does he have the euthanasia cover there? But with the purple sky coming down to like the sunset, and then the way the lights, the halogens or whatever are making the ground look greenish.
Close pin a couple babies up here and you'd have the cover.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it's instantly what I thought of. I was like, oh, what is that?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then right down the street was more wineries, so I was able to walk down there and grab some pictures of the sun setting one evening. Yeah, just beautiful area. We went to this other place. There was a brewery and they do barbecue there. So apparently Central California is known for tri-tip, which is basically just brisket. And since I was not adhering to a diet, I had to have the tri-tip.
Hell yeah.
Test out their barbecue merit. It's good. It's not as good as Texas brisket, but it's an acceptable sandwich. I'm not going to complain about it.
Brisket sommelier now all of a sudden? I know. Oh, I'm just picking.
I am more of a brisket sommelier than I am a wine
sommelier.
Oh,
okay. All
right. Yeah. And then, one morning we got there, the fog was crazy, and then the sun comes over, and it's just the weather there is totally different. It was cold and wet.
They have it.
Yeah, right. They have it. Yeah. Yeah, so the first 2 days were really, really long. In there 6:30 in the morning, not ending till late in the day. I'd go and run and get coffee or whatever, go and grab lunch, stuff like that. But then I think it was Saturday maybe, it ended a little early. So we went over to Paso Robles Brewing Company, which was there in town. And their old school IPA is fantastic. It's exactly what I want from beer. The malty, hoppy, crispy, clean, everything about it was great. They apparently do a brat there. We didn't get it, but it's something that if you are there, you probably should try it. Apparently, they soak their brats in their blonde that they make for a couple hours, and then they boil them in butter, or simmer them in butter, and then when you order it, they grill it.
Oh shit!
Yeah, so I think that does actually sound really good. Their food did look actually.
I kind of want.
They look like they knew what they're doing with the barbecue. Yeah.
I've done that.
So I recommend that.
I've done that with Guinness. I've done Guinness brats, but the boil in butter first. That's all right. Okay, noted.
Yep. I would have never thought about that. They also have these weird tanks I didn't know about where apparently instead of storing it in kegs, they just store it in these big giant serving tanks, and then they have a special tap handle that's different than most beers.
Hmm.
All sorts of things I learned on this trip.
All right. So you can write it off. It was educational.
Exactly. And then we went explored Paso Robles some more. But yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's this like so many. Like you can do this in every city in this country and probably every country. And there's just like little things to look at or try, and it's just crazy we don't have better access to go like see things quickly, like high speed rail or something where I could just like bounce over a few hours quick and back and go check out something cool without having to take a vacation to do it.
Exactly. Having to take an entire day of travel there and back on top of the time you spend there. Yeah.
But hey, VR is going to get good enough and I won't have to leave the house. And I'll feel like I'm there.
Exactly. We did also find a bar there.
Yeah.
We did also find a bar there. I didn't take any pictures of it, but it was called the Poorhouse. We walked in on it must have been Tuesday when Arsenal played in the Champions League, or Wednesday. I walked in wearing my Arsenal kit, and it was Wednesday, and it was a Liverpool bar, is what I very quickly found out, because the guy working behind the bar is from the UK and he's a Liverpool fan. He instantly started talking shit to me as soon as I walked in my Arsenal kit. So
that's awesome.
Was fun. Yep.
You're like, whoops.
It was like, I know.
Yeah, basically. I saw the Anfield sign when I walked in. Sorry, I didn't know any better.
Put on your best accent, call him a cunt, and then you can be friends.
Exactly.
Fuck off. Oh, wait, that's
like the Irish one.
I just want to say feck.
Yeah, what was that? Father
Ted.
Father Ted. Oh, fuck. Anyway.
Good show.
Yep. But yeah, we wrapped up Saturday just kind of exploring as much as Paso as we could. So we went to this other tasting room called Cali Paso. Their wines were they were good enough. I mean, they weren't the best one we tried, but they were pretty decent. We went to this Taste Craft Eatery place, which they just do sliders. But they do this thing where you can pick sliders, mac and cheese, or a couple other things. So we did 3 sliders.
Getting hungry now.
All right.
Yeah. So we did 3 sliders and some mac and cheese there. I did like a Cuban. We split like a black and blue cheeseburger. Or got a lamb one, and then we got this mac and cheese that had smoked Gouda and caramelized onions on it. It's fantastic. And then we went over to this place called Pappy McGregor's. Just your stereotypical Irish bar. Had to get their old fashioned. Just say Judge Irish bar, and it was good.
Because when in Dublin,
good job there.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Or in this case, Paso.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Well, yeah,
And then we walked a little bit further down. There's this place called the Alchemist. I think it was called the Alchemist, the Alchemy, something, one of those. They're all just around the downtown city park. They just have all endless places here. So you just kind of park and it's a quarter mile from here to the Airbnb. So you just kind of park and just walk around and bar hop, and
that's the best. That's the best. Yep. That's what I was saying. Even in Pittsburgh, it was like, I'm going to park, and everything I'm going to do is going to be in walking distance, because then you don't have to fuck around. You can actually enjoy what you're doing.
Yep. Parking in this town is so easy. There's street parking everywhere. You don't have to pay for it. If you see a spot, you can park there. It's ridiculous. But yeah, we went to this Alchemy place, and they had a Japanese highball whiskey drink with their own seltzer water that they make in-house that was with this pickled ginger in it that was just out of this world. And then we got this duck confit pasta to go with it. And it was one of the best meals I've ever had in my life. And that was this, the Alchemist Garden. That's what it was called. The Alchemist Garden.
That can also be a great album name, too.
Exactly. Yeah. Some of the most insane.
There's a picture of you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, some of the most insane food and drinks I've ever had in my life. Just out of this world. Yeah, that was all Saturday, and then Sunday we wrapped up the dog show and drove 2 hours east to Lemon Cove, California, which is, for a point of reference,
What was the reason for that?
where we were in Lemon Cove is at the base of this path that goes up the Sierra Drive up to the General's Highway and takes you up to Sequoia National Forest.
Nice.
So it was about an hour and a half from where our Airbnb was here in Lemon Cove to
It's
the
a
General
different
Sherman Tree.
Airbnb.
Yeah, different Airbnb. So we stayed at 2 separate Airbnbs on this trip.
I've never used Airbnb.
Me either.
I'll save one of my stories for after.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was haunted, and you got. Oh, never mind. No.
Airbnb does a good job of their customer service.
Okay.
The hosts don't always.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
Yeah. But yeah, the main reason we picked that one is because, I wanted to see the sequoia trees. The General Sherman tree is known as it's one of the largest trees in the world. I think if you look it up on Wikipedia, it says specifically, let's see here.
I've even heard of it, so that's saying something.
Yeah, the largest known living single stem tree on Earth, which is very specific. I went down a rabbit hole of that one night. It basically just means one specific category of tree.
Okay.
But it is the largest known one on Earth, and that was the entire reason we went there, because that place put us about an hour and a half away from it.
Okay.
Nice.
But as you're driving out there, you get into the desert, California. There's this big water reservoir down there, but the views were just insane. You just have all the mountains in the background, where that's basically where we were driving up to that point up there. There's a brewery up the road there that was great. It's called Three Rivers Brewing. We went there a couple times. Again, more places you can just let the dogs run around or whatever. Our Airbnb, which that's the thing. But yeah, then next day it was an hour and a half drive up the steep mountain roads. It was only 20 miles, but it takes that long because you're doing 15 miles an hour the entire time, and you're climbing from an elevation of about 2,000 feet to 7,000 feet.
Oh wow!
During that 20 miles.
Huh. Yeah, that's an extra mile into the air if you look at it that way, you know.
Exactly. But at the top of it is this giant ass tree. Those are people down there at the bottom.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. And it's just a forest of nothing but trees like that. Just you're driving up here, seeing these views the whole time, and then up at the top, it's nothing but just hundreds of trees that are all that size. There are chipmunks up there. Took lots of pictures of them. We even saw. Let me find a picture of it. Where's the big boy here? This guy. Actual bear.
Fucking bear?
Black bear. It was about 20 feet away from us on the trail.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, he was just sitting there eating food. There's a big group of people watching him. I guess he was getting ready to go into hibernation or something, so he wasn't too concerned with the people. He was just more concerned with getting as much food as he could.
Not that it's any consolation, especially for somebody visiting, but they've got to be used to that. Right there in a park. It's got to be like we've got city deer here. They don't give two shits. You know what I mean? This is like park bears. They've got to be used to it. But I don't know that would pacify me if I saw one on the trail. I'd just be like, no, it's a fucking bear, dude.
And it's giant. I mean, that's the size of, think about how big a bear is. That's how big the trees are there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a little bear. It's not a little cub. That's a.
Yeah. But yeah, we basically hung out all day, saw the trees, went hiking, got some views over the mountains, just the most insane, beautiful views over mountain ranges that exist. And then, we stopped at a little restaurant that was actually on the river, going back down the hill, had a beer there, and then stopped back at the brewery, and then woke up, drove back to LA, and flew back to Houston.
And then back to real life. Fuck.
Yep, had to leave all of this behind with the moon setting over the mountain ranges, and
no, these are great pictures.
It's so hard to take good pictures of the moon.
Yeah, and especially with my camera that doesn't do well in low light. I'm sure with like a Sony A7, you probably could easily, but.
Now, I spent like 2 days on the West Coast years ago, and the only thing I really remember is the colors in the sky are not like the colors in the sky we have here. And I don't know, I'm curious how that contrasts with Houston.
Yeah, I mean, we noticed the same thing when we went to Arkansas earlier this year, and we went to Europe earlier this year too. Like, the sky is always different everywhere else because we don't have all the pollution. Like, in Houston, it is a city of concrete and 18-wheelers and traffic. And when you go out to places like this, and it's just truly nature. I mean, we don't even see stars in Houston, really.
Mm. See, but even I don't know. Yes. I even compare it to here, which isn't really polluted, but it was just there were colors that I didn't know existed. And I've seen this sky for at that time probably 30 years. But yeah, it was wild. The sunsets, the West Coast sunsets are just insane. What number?
What number were the colors?
Man, there was lots of 57, some 81 in there. We got some deep blues in there.
All the colors of the wind.
Yeah, I mean, early on, it went through the 11s, up through the 20s, into the 26. That fire red. Anyway. Nobody knows that joke. Go look up your Roscolux catalog.
That's actually what I named my first child.
Roscolux?
Yep.
Or just
Roscolux Fiasco.
Or just a number.
Just a number.
I have a shirt here somewhere when they introduced Congo Blue. It has the transmission curve on the back, and
it's cool.
Nobody cares. Anyway,
the stream has ended. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. Go. I got nothing.
I was going to say the stream has ended, and as a result, this episode must too end because we've done everything that we could do here live.
Oh man. And if this worked, and if I can pull this shit together, go check out YouTube, and you can see some of this video here. It's not just us talking about it. Hopefully later. Bye, Mailbox.
New episodes every Monday.